Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Owoh's Corner, my own little corner of art. Yes, I am back. Yes, I am alive. No, I have not given up on YouTube. No, I have not stopped. For those of you who frequent my channel, and for those of you who may have seen my community posts, I did in fact start a new job. I'm going to be working at a retail store. And so, because of that, because I'm working full time, I work from 2 p.m. to 11. So, yeah, that means that from now on, my streams are going to have to be a bit shorter. And I'm also missing out on some D&D time with some of my friends. So, that's sad, but hey, it comes with having a full-time job. Anyway, we're going to be talking a bit about that during the stream and also some other stuff that has been going on. And, I'm just trying to get some stuff done. Excuse me. So, last I worked on this particular segment, I think I was. One second. Last I was working on this particular segment, what I think was going on was I was coloring the jogger. I still have to finish coloring some portions of her skin. I also need to do and draw her eyes. And it's coming along quite nice, quite well. Things are a bit out of place in certain segments, but hey, it's animation. These things usually take time. So for starters, let me use the eyedropper tool to grab this color. Then I'm going to zoom into right here and dang. 1 second. Now her head I have to get next. That's a bit unnerving just seeing it as a body head. Oh yeah, while I was working on some other stuff, I actually ended up finishing watching Interview with a Vampire, and I'll say that show was really good. I liked it. I liked how it ended. It was a really good show, a really decent show, in fact. And I'm definitely gonna rewatch it from the beginning because it has like a lot of potential. That mouth is horrible. I gotta redraw that mouth. I hate that you guys have to see it. You see, that's the thing is that I'll be working on this. I'll be working on this animation like on my own time, and I don't notice it because I'm the artist. But like as soon as I put the stream on and you guys see it, I'm like, you know what? That actually doesn't look well. That doesn't look good. I want to redo that, or I need to fix this or do that. So like, yeah, that's really something that you sort of learn and pick up on as you do art and as you continue to do it. So yeah, just things you learn and things you learn to pick up on. Now I think the next thing I should be doing is the back of the hair, because that is what needs it the most. Yeah, right now you're seeing some hacks and cheats that many artists and animators use is that they will, most artists don't draw the complete object. They may just draw like segments and certain portions and areas. Like it's something that they learn to do. I think this is, yeah, okay. Animation is time consuming, so there are many different cheats and things that animators do to hasten the process, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. There do come times where you just can't draw every single little thing, so you are in fact going to have to not draw certain objects fully or leave certain objects and areas bare, and unfinished isn't the proper word. I would say incomplete, not incomplete, but it's like, because animators need to animate objects on different layers, sometimes you just have to animate things on different layers. So things are going to be hidden or not going to be seen. You can easily draw over it or just be quick about it and have something filled in, if that makes sense. So like that's what I do. Like some of your favorite animators, they do it as well. They just like hide things or they hide certain segments and areas behind other layers on that are on top of it. I would also like to say that while I am happy I have a job, I definitely don't intend to stay in retail forever. Like, if I'm being completely honest, I'm just gonna get my experience. Of course, I'm gonna do a good job while I'm there. Like, I'm not the kind of person that just half asses. Like, I keep a diligent schedule on pretty much anything and everything I do. Like, I try to stream consistently. I have a script for a video I'm working on. I finished the audio. I might do another take or two, but that's gonna be coming out in the next, I want to say, hmm, well, it might take 3 or 4 days, depending on how long the B-roll footage takes. But like, it's essentially what I'm saying is this job where I'm at now, while I am grateful for it, because like I essentially begged for it. Like I was in a bad rut where no matter where I applied to, I wasn't getting accepted. So I'm like, you know what, please let me just take anything. The first job that accepts me, I'm gonna take it. Which I mean, that can be seen as either like a bad thing or a smart thing. Like for me, I definitely view it as, maybe you could have waited and maybe a better job could have came, but for your first job, especially like how things are going, it definitely wasn't a bad idea for me to take this job when it appeared. And it also gets me out of the house. Like, I want to look at this new job for the benefits that it can present me. Like, and I'm not just talking about like job benefits like healthcare or anything. Like, those are a given. But like, what I'm trying to say is there are unspoken and there are unspoken and there are quality things that can come from whichever job or position you are in life. Like I can definitely work on my people skills. I can work on interacting with people at this job. Because I work in retail, I'm gonna be meeting and interacting with people on a daily basis. I mean, of course, I'm not gonna be looking for friends, but talking to people, things can come up in conversation. And it does give me a chance to have a sort of network, or at least begin to establish a network, which is a good thing. It gets me out of the house because, like, if I'm being completely honest, like, I was just inside all day before this job. And it was a bit of a downer, and like, things got monotonous. Which, if you're an artist, I'm not going to say you need constant stimulation or you need constant interaction, but getting out, walking around, and like going to social areas, just seeing people, that does give one the potential to grow in their art. Like, I think, like, I got told this twice. Once was by a professor, and then the second time I was in like a um art conference or whatever, where essentially they tell us, "Hey, bring a sketch pad. Make sure you carry a sketchbook wherever you go because you never know when inspiration is going to strike." And honestly, that is true. Like, you never really know when inspiration is going to strike, or who or what may sort of inspire that inspiration. So be sure to take a sketchbook with you and be sure to note things down, take things down. like capture whatever you're thinking or feeling, because then you may have an idea for a show, or you may have an idea for something. Who knows what it could be? If you were stumped on a character that you wanted, then you being out in the store or you being at your place of work, it can just come to you like you're stocking the shelves and you're like, what if I made a character that had the ability to organize things? Or what if I made or what if the villain like has super strength or whatever? What if the villain is like a guy like me where he works a 9 to 5 and like he's tired of it? Like those are that's inspiration striking. And those are some, quick ideas I came up with. Obviously, ideas need time to flourish, grow, come into their own, but it's still inspiration and it's still a starting point for you. I will however say that one of my fears is, what if I have to stop YouTube? What if I have to stop making videos? And what if I don't find time to animate or to work on my portfolio? And it's like I don't want to give up on my vision. I don't want to give up on what I see and what I want for myself. And like working in retail is not a bad thing. Like I respect people who work in retail. I respect people who get up at dawn and have to commute to whatever shop they work at. I commend people who go out during the day and they have to stay till very late hours to help close up shop. Like I respect those people and I think highly of them because it's definitely things that need to be done. Like infrastructure, retail, other jobs like that. Of course, those are amazing positions. Those are awesome positions and I'm glad to have a job in general. But I will be honest and I will say that retail is not my calling. It is not what I imagined I would be doing. And if I'm being completely honest, it's not something that I can vision I can envision myself doing long term. It's not something that I want to do personally. And that is okay. And that is okay for anyone and everyone. If you, it doesn't matter. Like, if you went to college or didn't go to college and you have like some degree or some skills, it is first of all, it's okay that the first job you get after graduating or after getting your certificate isn't the job you planned on. And it's also okay that since you started this position, you don't intend or want to stay in that position long term. And just because you feel that certain way, or just because you have that certain belief or desire, then you shouldn't be villainized for it, and your personal feelings should not be misconstrued as disrespect or looking down on those who do work in those positions, who do pursue those positions long term. And again, some people just work for a check, and that is okay. That is purely okay. That is normal. Most people these days work for a check. Like, look at all these Door Dashers or people who drive in Uber. Like, I'm pretty sure nobody woke up and said, "Hey, I want to be an Uber driver." Some people probably did, and but at the same time, others people have probably said, "Hey, like this is good money, or this is something that I can do now. Let me do Uber or let me do DoorDash." And then again, not everybody is a full time Uber driver. Some people do it part time. Some people just do it to have like extra carrying cash or extra money. And that is perfectly normal. That is okay. Again, like my greatest fear, my greatest concern is like, what if I'm stuck doing this forever? And like, of course I know better. Like, of course I'm not gonna stay working in retail forever. But you know how your mind begins to wander, or when you're first starting something or first getting used to something, you start thinking like, oh, I can't do XYZ anymore. Oh, this has changed for me. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do as much as I want anymore. And obviously that's just strictly a part of growing up. Like we're all growing up and we're all going through different things. Like usually some people may reach certain milestones by certain ages, and other times you have people who are just now going through what I'm going through. They have their first job. They can't do as much as they want anymore. And that's for people in all walks of life. Like not just people who graduated college, but people who never went to college, or people who have spent so many years doing whatever it is that they're doing, or have new circumstances. And that is completely normal. Like, and me talking about this, me streaming about this is really, I'm not going to say like eye opening. I'm not like shocked about it. But this does, it just goes to further, what's the word? Not educate me, but it really shows that people are different. Everybody is different, and everybody is going through their own thing, their own life journey. And they are experiencing things or having experienced things that are completely new and foreign to them, which is honestly, I think, is an amazing and beautiful thing. It's beautiful that so many people are going through different things or learning things for the first time and having new experiences that they probably never had before. It's what makes things interesting and it's what makes things worth living and worth experiencing. So, like I said, it's about 10:36 right now. So, I have to leave. I'm probably going to just stream for maybe an hour or an hour 30 minutes because at 1:30 that's when the bus comes. I have to take a bus. No, I do not have a license or a car. Not yet at least. The whole backstory with that is well, you see the thing is what had happened was I had went to college and I didn't really need my license or my car because I went to a good college that had buses that took us pretty much wherever we wanted to go, even to the mall. So I'm like, you know what? Bet I already live on campus. The the mess hall, the cafeteria is just like two buildings down, so I can go there, and then I can walk to my classes every day. So you know what? I don't need a I don't need a car. I don't need my license. And then after that, I had and then after that when COVID hit, I had went home and I was already stuck in like this small apartment because I was and this was like a senior living apartment. Like me and my mom, we took care of my grandmother while she was still living for like the past, I want to say 3 years. For me it was 3 years, for my mom it was like 4. But like we took care of her and yeah, like I usually stayed in like I was either in the living room or I was in like an extra spare room. I couldn't really I couldn't really leave the apartment because again, elderly folks live there and it's kind of strange or awkward if you're like this young adult man and you're like walking around the premises or you're like going upstairs to use the workout room. So like I pretty much had to stay inside because because I was young and I didn't want like any awkward moments or things to be awkward or make the other elderly people feel unsafe because you know that's just how it was. And when we did leave the apartment, like we were only gone for maybe 2 or 3 days because one of my mom's siblings, one of my uncles or aunts, they would spend like the weekend with my grandmother so we could go home. And usually we only ever went home like maybe once or twice a month. It really wasn't consistent. So like yeah, we were pretty much stuck in like a small apartment taking care of my grandmother, like doing different things. We were like cooking, cleaning, like helping her around the house, often on the toilet, different things like that. So like it was I'm not gonna say it was hard because it's what I had to do. Like I had to take care of my grandmother. I take full responsibility of it. I'll never complain because like honestly, it was pretty much just me and my mom. Being 100% completely honest, it was me and my mom really who were taking care of my grandmother. Like my other aunts and uncles, they didn't really come around much or help. It was just pretty much me. So like again, that's really why I didn't have my license. And so now it's kicking me in the ass because now I have to take the bus, which isn't a bad thing. Like if I'm being completely honest, I like taking the bus. I have no gripes taking the bus. Like I took the bus while I was still in college, while I was still living on campus. So I don't mind taking the bus. It's actually quite fun for me at least. However, I will say that my real issue comes in with like how early I have to leave and the fact that now, because I do have to take the bus, I can't stream for as long as I want. Which Of course, it goes back to that whole thing of you're an adult now. Like you have to do all this stuff. You have to, you have to make money. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But at the same time, like I had other engagements, and you know what? No, I'm gonna stop complaining. You guys aren't here to listen to me complain. Like you guys just love. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why you guys are here because y'all just like listening to me make a fool of myself. Like, let's be honest. But hey, this is entertaining. Like, how many other streamers like stream during the day? How many others like stream around noon? I haven't seen them. That's why like I keep streaming when I stream. And so now I just have to be better about my time, and now I have to stick to a solid schedule. But like I'll see other streamers, they stream for like 3, 4 hours. Some stream for 5 hours. Like look at those like hell of a boss streams where like they would have different guest speakers on and they would like talk for hours on end, and like Ashley or whoever her name is like would be animating, and that would be like a whole thing. And I'm like, I should be doing that. Like I should be streaming for hours on end. But I can't because I have prior engagements, which isn't a bad thing. That's just a part of growing and evolving as a person, is being responsible and choosing what you can or can't be doing or what you should and shouldn't be doing. I mean, hey, I'm not complaining. I'm happy. Like, of course I'm happy. Like, mm. Things are just changing, and this stream is really just for me to, I guess, process as well as share with you guys. Is that a bad thing? It might be a bad thing, but like, hey. You know what? That's too bright of a red. I want to do like a darker red. Maybe decrease the saturation as well because that's also pretty bright. Yeah, that's good. Now this is just the base color I'm doing, but when I add the shading layer, usually what will happen is in animation, they'll color with the base coat and then they'll go back and they'll add like a shading layer that adds more, it gives the art more dimension so that it doesn't look flat or too technicolor, I guess you could say. So right now what I'm doing is just coloring, and then afterwards I'm going to probably have another stream where I shade. This has actually been quite fun. Like I've been really enjoying this. And I know I keep repeating myself, but it's the truth. Like I like doing this. I like working on this. usually the coloring phase that actually takes, I'm not going to say it takes the shortest amount of time, but if you're good about it, it's not going to take you that long. Usually just boils down to like having patience with it. Like, I think one of the easiest, if I'm being completely honest, like, I'd have to say next to final line art, I want to say coloring is easiest for me. The really hard part is actually just shading. Like, shading is probably the hardest because you have to be very careful and consistent with your shading. You have to make sure that you carry over like a rough estimate of what the shading is going to be like on the uh, next frame after you shade it. But then again, with shading, all you really have to do after you like draw the outline of your shade is just fill it. Then you can select all of the layers at, I mean, not all of the layers, all the keyframes at once, then onto them. One of the drawbacks of Adobe Animate is it doesn't work. It doesn't work like it doesn't work like Photoshop and it doesn't work like Illustrator. When you select a layer, that's purely cosmetic. Like if I were to select this layer, the body layer, and I were to right click it, uh that's not right click, my bad. And if I were to right click it and do like 50 opacity, like you can see through this 50% opacity, but that's only for this. It's only for the drawing and the artistic process. When I go to export it, then the opacity is going to be 100. If I wanted to actually change the opacity and have it show up in the final product, let me make this visible. Oh, dang, wrong one. If I wanted to actually make the opacity like 50 or 80 or whatever in the final product, what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to go to frame right here. Usually there's gonna be like a properties tab. I'm gonna have to go to frame, scroll down, and you're gonna see like color effects and blend. And so what you're gonna have to do is go to alpha and alter the alpha. Or you're gonna have to go to the blending mode, go to like multiply or something, and then you're gonna have to then go to the color effects again and go through alpha. So like it's a process, and usually what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure everything is drawn, make sure everything is colored and animated. So then once you're finally done with everything, you can select all of the frames in bulk, then put a multiply layer and an alpha on it to change the opacity. Because like if you were to do each individual frame, that's going to take you a while to do. That's going to be long to do. So it's best to just draw the shading you want to get done, select it all, and then go to frame and do whatever you want to do. And there are also different effects, like there's brightness, there's tint, there's like an advanced effect, and they have like different, excuse me, they have like different things you can do where you can change the alpha and like the other tints and hues as well. Blending modes. Blending is pretty much like the what are they called? The layer effects that the layer effects. Sorry, my southern accent, my country accent is coming out. Blending modes are sort of like the different layer effects that you get in Photoshop, like your darken, your multiply for shadows, your lighten screen, your dodge, your hard light for like different glow effects that you see in, like, if you're drawing a building, you want to add a glow for like the light. There's also alpha effects and difference and subtract. Ooh. And you also have filters down here that let you add drop, shadows, blur, glow. Essentially, in the recent updates to Adobe Animate, what they've tried to do is give Animate the ability to composite animations as well. The only drawback is After Effects does it better. If I'm being completely honest and generous, After Effects does it better, and After Effects is also more consistent with its compositing. So what I do is I actually so what I do when I'm animating is I like to do the base color in Animate. I also like to do the shading in Animate as well. But when it comes to more base things or more normal things like adding drop shadows, giving segments more illumination and stuff like that, I do all of that in After Effects. Like a few um like a few streams ago, you guys might have seen me work on this background. Like I'll do is I'll do the animation in Animate, but when it comes to the background, I put the background in After Effects. And you're gonna see some of these floating islands like subtly moving up and down. As the screen goes on, you're gonna see some of these buildings like rise up or get like bigger or smaller, and that's going to be a thing. Um, and just other things that I'm going to be doing in After Effects. So sadly, the eyes and coloring and doing the mouth is going to take me a while. So I think what I can do right now is just color certain things and color certain characters. At least like put the base coat of color on, because I really don't want to spend too much time on this stream. Sad, I know. I just don't want to be late for my second day of work. Perhaps when I like get into a funk or get into a groove, I can spend more time, but for now at least, I am gonna like cut this stream short. But I'm definitely not gonna stop streaming. Like this has been fun for me. This has been awesome. Just amazing. I've loved working on this and doing this. Let's see. Go to my brush. Go to tool. Paint behind. Actually, I just want to check the bus real quick. Yeah, like the bus comes at 2:30, and after this stream, I'm already dressed and everything. Like, I'm already dressed, brush my face. I mean, brush my face. Brush my teeth, wash my face. I ate breakfast. I'm dressed. I just really need to put my shoes on, grab my jacket, and then grab like my phone charger and everything, and then go. But if I'm being like completely honest, I'm practically terrible with time. Like that's just, and like it's not like, oh, I just don't think about time, or oh, like I have all the time in the world. Like I am genuinely bad with time. Like, and judging distances, because like I'll say, oh, that's a 15-minute walk, that's nothing, and then next thing I know, like I go at the wrong time, then I miss like an event, or I do something, and yeah, like I'd rather not go into detail. I'm just gonna leave it at, I'm bad with time, so I'm trying to not mess up this job. You know what? Now that I'm actually doing it, I think I might still be able to stream like I used to. Like at first I was like pretty scared and I was blowing it out of proportion. I mean, no, like I guess I can't say I wasn't blowing it out of proportion because again, like this is my first, I want to say, job with an actual concrete schedule. Like how do I put it? In high school, I worked with my uncle on weekends. In college, I kept applying to jobs, but I couldn't find one. And then, like, while I was in college, I was doing YouTube, I was making videos, streaming now and again. Well, until recently, I started, like, actually really streaming more often. But what I'm trying to say is, like, I do think that now that I'm actually doing it, and now that I've actually done it, I definitely can keep up my streams. I may have to stream earlier and I won't be able to stream for as long as I want to. But then again, like if I'm being completely honest with you guys, like how long did I really stream? Like I always try to aim for 2 hour streams, but I would usually stop at around an hour, like an hour 30 minutes, an hour 15 minutes, 18 minutes, like which isn't a bad thing. I can't really call that a bad thing, but like I'll definitely have to start streaming earlier, and I can't stream as long as I want to. As long as I've initially wanted to, I'll say that's a better term. But yeah, this is pretty good. I'm not as concerned or scared as I was before. And there's always gonna be that concern. There's always gonna be that fear. Like that's just natural human instinct to like fear messing up or fearing the unknown. But with this now, I'm certainly less afraid than what I would have been. So I am glad that I streamed today, and I am glad that I learned some things. Okay. So that's two characters down that I've finished coloring, or at least mostly finished coloring. There's still more I have to do. But yeah, this is coming along nicely. So I'm still figuring a few things out. I still need to get used to my schedule and other stuff like that. But yeah, I think instead of having streams around lunchtime or noon rather, now I'm gonna be starting an hour early. So I'll try to start my streams around 10 o'clock, 10:15 at the latest. But yeah, I guess I better bring this stream to a close. I apologize for not talking about my show and not giving more details, but this stream I just was really feeling about my new job and I wanted to get those feelings out there. I hope you guys understand. But yeah, I'm definitely nothing has changed. I'm still animating. I'm still gonna stream. I'm still gonna do videos when and where I can. They may take a little while longer, or it may take me a bit longer to work on their scripts. But hey, I'm still gonna be doing what I do, doing what I love. And yeah. Anyway, if you like what I do, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share even. I have a Patreon and I also have a Buy Me a Coffee. So, in case you want to support, if you want to, only if you want to. But yeah, this has been Owoh's Corner, my own little corner of art. I'll see you guys in my next video or stream. Bye.